Rafah Strip. Gaza urgently needs more aid or its desperate population will face widespread famine and disease. The heads of 3 major UN agencies said Monday after officials reported a rising death toll in the Israel-Hamas war. While UN agency chiefs did not directly point the finger at Israel, they said aid deliveries had been hampered by too few border crossings being opened, a slow inspection process for trucks and goods heading into Gaza, and ongoing fighting across the region, an issue in which Israel is a decisive factor, triggered a humanitarian catastrophe that forced more than one into Israel. Civilians were left helpless. Video released to X by Al Jazeera on Monday shows hundreds of people running towards what appears to be an aid truck in what the news outlet said was Gaza City. The Associated Press not immediately able to independently verify the video, and it was unclear when it shot. A day after White House said it was time for Israel to scale back its military offensive. The World Food Programme, UNICEF and World Health Organization said new entry roads into Gaza should be opened and more trucks allowed in every day. Aid workers and help seekers need to be allowed to move safely. People in Gaza are at risk of starving to death just a few kilometers away from trucks full of food, said WFP Executive Director Cindy McCain. Every hour lost puts countless lives at risk. The number of dead increased on Monday. Army said its forces and aircraft targeted militants in second-largest city of Khan Younis, focus of ground offensives, as well as in northern Gaza, where Israeli army said it was continuing to expand its control. Israel blames Hamas for the high death toll and says its fighters use civilian buildings and launch attacks from densely populated urban areas. A unique humanitarian crisis. The conflict, now its 101st day, has sparked an unprecedented humanitarian crisis in the region, which is struggling with a long blockade imposed by Israel and Egypt after Hamas came to power in 2007. The crisis has been particularly severe in northern Gaza. Less than a quarter of aid convoys reached their northern destinations in January, the UN said on Sunday, as Israeli authorities denied access to most of them. UN agencies have said they want access the Israeli port Ashdod, about 40 kilometers north Gaza, which would allow larger amounts aid to be sent directly northern Gaza, much which Israel has destroyed. Israel blamed UN and other groups for the problems in delivery of aid. Moshe Tetro, an Israeli official at COGAT, an advocacy body responsible for Palestinian civil affairs, said last week that aid distribution would be made easier if the UN increased the number of workers who could pick up and package supplies. He said more trucks were needed to transport aid to Israel for security checks and that working hours at the Rafah border gate between Gaza and Egypt should be extended. He relented after pressure from his biggest ally, the EU,